Disney officially pulled their funding for Doctor Who. Much sadness. Oh no. How terrible. What happened? It's still somehow like Frankenstein's monster itself. This show will still not officially die, though. They will not let it go because the BBC have announced that even though they don't have funding from Disney anymore, they are still going to do a Christmas special next year. What that's going to involve, who the Doctor's even going to be at this point, no one knows, and I'm betting no one cares either.
So I'm like half in the loop. It's like it has to be Billie Piper, right? That's because that's where it left off.
You'd assume so, but then I think they said themselves like there's no real plans to do anything with her. It was just a gimmick. It was just what can we do to drum up some interests? They are literally throwing shit against the wall and just hoping something will stick.
The announcement of basically just stuff will happen, maybe. Yes. Get excited. You're like, okay.
Enjoy our stuff. I mean, yeah, how can anyone be still supporting this fucking show at this point? It's a disaster. It's horrible. I mean, I think Despot, you might be the only one who's stuck with it at this point and actually
I tried. I watched 3 or 4 episodes of the last season for various streams, but here I tried to watch. I was going to watch the last episode for this stream, and I got 15 minutes in and gave up. I'll explain why. Because this episode, it was written by Russell T Davies. He doesn't write all of them. He's a showrunner for all of them, but he wrote this one himself, and it's very convoluted. Basically, what it's about: some villain has bent reality, so everyone is living in a kind of imposed dream, kind of like the Matrix, if you know what I mean. And the Doctor has to wake everybody up out of this false reality and bring them into their true reality so they remember their old lives. And he starts doing this, and it's what you would expect. Like the transgender kid from one of the previous episodes shows up. There's 2 women in a wheelchair, and they're both girl bosses, and one of them has a rocket-powered wheelchair, and she goes off to save the day. And then at one point, he walks in.
I love how you phrased that as well. It's like 2 women in a wheelchair, implying they're both like stuck on it.
And he walks into your room, and he's waking everyone up from the false reality into the true reality. I love that profile pic, by the way, from Mineral Enhanced there. Russell T Davies would approve. And there's a scene where the Doctor walks into a room, and he's waking everyone up, and everyone's saying, "Oh my God, I suddenly remember my life." And there's this woman who walks in, and she says, "I was a housewife." You know, with this voice of disgust, like, "Oh my God, in the false reality, I was a housewife. Thank God I've woken up." And I just turned the fucking thing off, man. I had enough. I couldn't take anymore. It's like housewives. The worst thing a woman can do is be a fucking housewife, because you know that what a woman really should do is just go work for the man who's going to pay you pennies on the dollar to sit chained to your fucking corporate desk. Oh, I couldn't take anymore, man. It's disgusting and it's terrible. And it's not just the messaging. It's such a convoluted, badly written, all over the place, messy plot. There was another episode where the bad guys were like a straight white couple. The good guys were a gay couple, and they were helping the Doctor to defeat this bad guy that wanted to commit genocide on a massive scale. And there were 2 gay hosts in it. That was the Eurovision episode. It's just dreadful. It's just absolutely dreadful. The messaging is so blunt force. There's no subtlety to it. It's just a gigantic fucking sledgehammer made out of woke, and you're getting battered over the head with it. Yeah. God, it's awful. It's so fucking terrible. It's horrible to watch.
The BBC is like, sorry.
No. Just, I have a question. Does it feel dated?
Yes, just very dated. Dated.
Everything from this era that is this woke bullshit is going to feels dated now. Mm-hmm. Not to make you the topic of our discussion, Drinker, but did you see the interview with Mark Anderson where he quotes you?
I got it sent to me. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah. He it's like all this stuff is like a fever dream, and all these bad movies, TV shows, media came out during this era, and now they feel dated. And it's going to take so long to, like, a couple years to turn around from that. But he quotes you, Mark quotes you exactly, talking about the message. He talks about walking. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen him talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but like the interesting thing is, like, Hollywood at least is a profit-driven industry. Like, they are beholden to the bottom line at the end of the day, whereas the BBC is not. And so, like, they essentially reached 2019 levels of wokery and just said, right, this is our mindset now. This is what we're going to be. Yeah. And I think Doctor Who is the ultimate expression of it, right? Because you watch basically any BBC production, like whether it's a crime drama, whether it's a fucking comedy, whatever passes for comedy in the BBC's mind, it's all the same. Like, as Despot was mentioning there are rules that govern everything they do. So I guarantee if it's like a murder plot or whatever, the bad guy will always be a straight white guy. Like, any position of command or authority will be held by a woman or a person of color, guaranteed, because they have to be portrayed in the most positive light possible. All of those things. But Doctor Who takes it to, like, it dials it up to 11, to the point where it's like you could easily tell me it's a parody and I believe you. It's like, if you told me it's there to mock woke ideology, I would believe you, because it's so absurdly over the top. It's the only way I can justify it. I can't believe that writers' rooms full of mature adults who are supposedly functional human beings sit down and write this and think it's a good idea and think that the British public will enjoy it. It is wild that they are so out of touch like that, but they don't have to care. That's the interesting thing. Hollywood has to care ultimately, because if their movies flop, they'll eventually run out of money and they'll go bankrupt. The BBC doesn't matter. They are a state-funded propaganda ministry. You are forced to pay your TV license to fund this dog shit bullshit content made by people who fucking hate you and despise every aspect of who you are and want to make you aware of that, and you're forced to pay for it. That's why they don't have to care if no one likes it and no one watches it, because it's still going to get paid for and funded anyway. It's great. I'd love to work for the BBC. Job security.
It's catching up with them. It's all catching up with them. Like, Warner Brothers is on sale now, like, officially. Yeah. I know that it's not just all the the woke nonsense they've been doing over the years, but that was a massive contributing factor. And, like, even look at, say, Joker 2, for example. Why did you give $200 million to, what the fuck's that director's name?
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips. Why'd you give him $200 million? They gave him final cut, and they wouldn't even allow audience test reviews. Like, that's insane. Like, that's just mismanagement. So it's not just, the woke stuff. But if you continually make bad decisions, it doesn't matter how big the company is. It can be Warner Brothers. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you, and the company's going to go on sale. It happened to, big game companies like Ubisoft had to get bailed out by Tencent. I think I'm getting that right. If you continue to attack your audience and you continue to make sort of consumer hostile decisions, it doesn't matter how massive the company is, it'll catch up with them.
It will. That's the thing. And at least Hollywood is gradually learning that lesson. As is it Mark Anderson was talking about this?
Yeah.
They are aware now of the problem. They are trying to course correct. It takes time, though, because you've got several years worth of movie projects that are in the pipeline that are still coming out. They were too late to change. They just have to write it out. But even then, I think there is still a reduction in the amount of, like, ridiculous politically oriented bullshit that's coming out. The Savant is a good example where they pulled the plug right at the last minute.
Is that still coming out, or is that just outright stopped?
It's in limbo, I think, at this point.
Yeah, just in limbo. I was reading the Deadline article too about the Doctor Who situation with Disney, and it said straight up that because of the politics that were infused in it, it referenced MAGA specifically. It's MAGA, anti-MAGA politics. That's why Disney decided to pull the plug, along with the terrible ratings. Which, I love. First of all, I love that if you are just a normal human being but aren't a far left liberal, you're MAGA. And secondly, it's just the show just had absolutely abysmal ratings, and the article stated that they never really were excited about it in the first place. So the budget's going to be slashed in half. It was like $8 million an episode, and it's going to go down to like 2.5 million now at this point.
Yeah.
Why don't they just abandon it? In all seriousness, where is the sensible person in the room to say, lads, enough. Let's just shitcan this thing for 5 years or 10 years and leave it at that.
I think that's the only reasonable thing to do at this point. Like, the era that it exists in at the moment can't continue. It has to just stop and let it rest.